Hi guys! In today's video, I'm going to be turning scam slimes into the slimes they originally advertised. The internet is flooded with replica versions of the most popular slimes on the internet from genuine sellers, so I decided to put this to the test and put them against each other, so the real versus the scam. Just as a quick recap, if you haven't watched the past videos, this one is from Cornwall Slime and it's called Nutella Gloss. As the name suggests, this is a really gorgeous glossy slime, and I found this within the scam slime and the original, but the scam slime slightly fell down in the presentation because this came in a Ziploc bag, which made the really good slime just not look as good. Another point was that it was slightly less opaque than the original version and also less thick, so they were both things I really wanted to fix. The thing I was most nervous about was just getting this out of the container because it's been around 2 months, so I was expecting it to be straight PVA glue basically, but it ended up being so put together and pretty much like the original slime was when I left it, so I was really happy and pleased with this. So the first thing I did to make it more opaque and also to get the colour to I guess the original colour closer to it, I added some white glue. And then I added some clear glue because clear glue activates a lot faster than white glue, so I always find that it helps the slime feel a lot thicker. And then I added a ton of activator, and what we're going to do here is overactivate the slime and then leave it. And I think I left it for a week and a half, and in this time it melts down slightly, so it becomes really super thick and glossy slime because it's just been left. And like you can see, this ends up so gorgeous, a really deep and gorgeous colour, still super glossy, but just a bit more thick and like the original. Next up from Cornwall Slime, we have Birthday Cake Pop, and this is a really fun slime. It comes with a glossy base and then a clay ornament on the top that you mix in. And once it's mixed in, it creates a really nice smooth butter slime with some confetti pieces at the bottom. The scam slime came in another Ziploc container, but aside from that, it was more like the add-in rather than the slime. So what I wanted to do with this was just make it into the clay pop instead of the actual slime. And it has like all the confetti pieces, but it just didn't have enough. So I decided I was going to roll it into one big giant ball, and I was just going to roll it about in some confetti and get that all up in there. And then for the base, I recommend Elmer's Glue All, which I didn't have, or the Amazon Basics glue, and they're both really good for thick slimes, but this is the one I had, which is a bit of a thinner consistency, but it did work. And then to get it to the right colour, what I did was add some red, but then the red was kind of like overpowering, so I had to add some purple to balance out, and like you can see, it turned into this really nice pink colour. It was slightly darker, but we can fix this in a second. So I went in with my borax water, and I made this slightly stronger. I made it 3 teaspoons of borax to 1 cup of warm water, and then I kept adding loads. And again, we're going to overactivate this and make it really nice. We're going to leave it for a week as well, but before I did that, I wanted to lighten the colour, so I made this slime again off camera, exact same recipe, but just with the white slime. And I mixed this all in, and then it turned into the lighter colour that the original slime was, and I was really happy with how this turned out. It wasn't as thick, but it was as thick as I could get it with this formula. Then all that was left to do was to grab the clay ball that I made originally with the original slime and mix this all in. Next up we have a clear texture, which I was really excited to fix, and this is Snoop Slime's Dragon Egg Slime. The main difference between the scam slime and the original was the original had these rainbow pearl beads and came in a different container. I found the scam slime's container really fun, but the texture itself was really clear, but it was really thin, and I think they included some water in that. So the first thing I did was take out the pearl beads because they were the biggest difference, and then after that, so it would clear up quicker but also become thicker without having to activate it and wait for the bubbles to clear up, I put it in the fridge. This makes the slime a lot clearer and then also a lot thicker. So this is really great if you're just at home playing with slimes, and this is temporary. I find it lasts about 15 minutes and then you just put it back in the fridge. But the fridge also helps the bubbles clear up quicker if you do activate it. Snoop Slime's Barbie slime actually was really great. It did have the thinner consistency like before, but it was really nice in terms of its colour. It was more of a purple tone than the actual coral tone of the original. So the first thing I knew I had to do was try and fix the colour, and I think I could simply do this by adding some pigments. And also, because I like this slime so much, I did add a lot more activator off camera before I knew I was filming this video, so it's already as thick as I could possibly get it. So first up, I knew I had to add a lot of colouring to this, so I added a ton of pigment and just went ahead and mixed that in. This was just gonna colour in all the patchy bits and just make it a lot more flavoursome, I guess, to the eye. Flavoursome to the eye? Does that even make sense? But it looks cute basically, and like you can see is a lot thicker than before. It isn't as thick as Snoop's, but it definitely got there, and if you overactivate it, it can become a lot more gummy. Next up we have one that I've been really excited about, and this is Honeydew Jelly from Slime Obsidian. Now his is really clear, which I knew I wouldn't be able to do with our one because this was a white glue slime on top, I'm pretty sure. That's why it looked like mold. His was just gorgeous, really thick and a jelly, and this turned out more like an icy, so that was the first thing I wanted to fix. All I had to do was make some clear slime, which is a basic recipe of clear glue, and with jellies I like to use also some foaming hand soap, and this just pushes all the bubbles to the top because this can hold bubbles quite easily, and then just some activator. And full disclaimer, clear glues activate quickly, so you need to do a lot more time in this than you would for a white glue slime, and just mix it up and just keep mixing it up. And when you think you've added too little activator and it's coming together, just keep mixing because then it activates more and you don't want it to become rubbery. To make my slime super thick, I do put them in the fridge, so this has been refrigerated, which is why it's a bit more gummy. And then with the original slime, which had actually turned into more of a jelly slime over time, I'm not entirely sure how, it was still kind of an icy hybrid, I mixed this into my clear slime, and this just counteracts it. It adds more slime to the snow, and so it makes it into a jelly texture instantly. Next up we have Taro Whip, and the whip slimes are absolutely beautiful. They're so airy and absolutely gorgeous texture, but like you can see, the scam slime is quite heavy in polymer clay, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to be adding some Daiso clay as well as some more slime so we get this cheery tone colour. When I reached for the slime, the first thing I noticed was because of the poor packaging, some of it on the top had actually dried out, which left us with the perfect amount for this video. For the Daiso clay, all I did was just get a box and then half it, and all I needed for this base was the exact same base that I used the Cool Slime pink slime with, and this was just some of the leftover white slime that I had, and I mixed this in pretty much 50-50 with clay and slime, and we were left with a really creamy slime. The first thing I wanted to do was lighten the original scam slime because this was a bit of a darker color than his slime, so I wanted to make it more true to the original as well as mixing that additional clay in to get that extra airy texture. And then the other slime, that was just pure Daiso, so we'd really get a lighter texture and a lighter feel, and I tried to swirl this, it didn't end up too cute, so I just flipped over and then I mixed it all in. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week.